Alright, Jack, are you ready? Are you ready for the VOD? The VOD review. Chat, are you ready for the VOD? Yikes. It'll be alright, Jack. Oh, starting out right on the POV. Let's get into it. Going out pink. Okay, that's a good pick. Ooh. That's kind of standard. Like, you dying here is not bad. It's really not that bad at all. Especially the way you were able to get the pick, at least. One thing that I would say, just as like a thing to think about, is these nades always come through, and either you need to sit further back, or you need to be like walking through so that you don't get hit. Or if you do get hit, you're not gonna get hit that hard. That's just a suggestion. Which you kind of did, but now you can see you're basically one shot. But if you were like sprinting through, you might have been able to like get the heads up on this guy ahead of time. Now that like picks are going down and you're stuck P2, the best thing you can probably do is like sit here on this ledge or drop down. Dropping down probably wouldn't be that bad, but that's like hindsight, because you're gonna die to this guy here, to his nades. But this is such an easy spot to get naded right here, sitting on the street P2. So like I don't typically like to sit here unless unless I know like I'm completely safe from like this person. But like I said, this is actually not a bad death to have. This is pretty standard stuff. It's just stuff to think about so that in certain situations you can, and people don't realize this, like you can move around a lot of times while you're one shot and like get away. Just something to think about. That's not necessarily a situation where that applies, but there are some similar situations. Okay, you spawn bubble, right? You go straight to their base. You look car to get the shots. You're walking through. I don't like the use of that thrust, and they might be spawning basement behind you. They're not. Okay, looks like you're safe. Yeah, they're still spawning cars. So that's good. Yeah, not the greatest flag run. Okay, one thing here. When you're getting a flag run like you are right now, tossing it out right here, it's so weird that it like went nowhere. But tossing it out right here is like what you want to do. But you don't really want to run it. You don't really want to run the flag, especially when you have a teammate bottom mid and a teammate car 2. Like you have no support, and your teammate that you're running to literally just died over here on pink door with camo. So you're going to run into somebody. And if you leave the red base, somebody's going to spawn behind you, most likely to shoot you in the back. So, I was not able to get games for a little while, but apparently the servers are back. But I have not tried yet, myself. So this run right here, Jack, is just not, it's not needed. It's not needed. Then you're just gonna get melted, just like you do right there. Grady, go get your own lobby. Go create it. Make your own money once. Go get it rolling. How's it going with the flex? Okay, so you played for the re, which it's still there. I don't know how much more time there's left. Okay, returned. You definitely don't want to be stuck bottom mid. They don't know you're here, which isn't that bad, but I don't really like this play. I'd rather you just like play for like the flank. If you can get under their base at any moment, like that's what you should try to do. Getting up top while like the rest of your team is coming off respawn, and you guys don't really have that great of control. Like you have a teammate P2, which is fine, but they have a guy car 2, their car cuts, and then somebody is already at your base. They have a lot more control over this map than your team does. So going top mid is kind of risky. I would say somebody else after you should be the one going top mid, and like you should be under their base, like going toilet, you know, shooting these guys in the back, and then like trying to get a flagpole running at pink. Like that's the ideal route that I would rather see here than you going top mid, because then you're just gonna get melted like that a lot of the time. Yeah, they're at car. Gotta be careful, because I feel like the guys above you could have dropped into the toilet. Where is this guy? No, he's window. Okay. Normally, you don't want to just kind of be... You don't really want to just stand out here in the open like you were. Like, you need to either be in the lift still, like, hugging the back glass so that, like, these angles are cut. Like, you don't want to be getting shot from P-tunnel easily. You don't want to be getting shot from this pink door all that easily. You could even be walking towards toilet. That's, like, the other option. But you got your shields back, and that's okay. Pushed out. You were getting shot at in your own base, so just burning your thrust out like this, it's not wise. It's not wise. Because this is exactly what happens. You just start getting shot in your side, in your back, whatever, getting caught off guard when, like, you knew there's a guy, like, near you, shooting you somewhere. Yeah, like, you're getting shot in your top base, and I don't think your teammates got any kills. Like, your teammate just pushes out from pink. Like, that's stupid of him, too. I'll be real. Like, I don't know why he didn't, like, check back to the base. He did come back to the base. Good on your teammate, actually. He ran out and then ran back. But you can't just go out right now. Like, you gotta just know, like, somebody was here just a second ago. Like, you should be dropping into the toilet. You could even have caught this guy off guard, backsmacked him. You know, any of that. And then you burn your thrust. That's another reason why you don't want to burn your thrust, so you can save it for a moment like this, so that you could be sprinting out and then thrust back under your base. Or back to your base, at least. Instead, you're just out in the open, getting melted. Spawn low. Camo's coming up soon. Don't want to be this far out. It's good that you got that pick, but then that's what I was afraid of. You got lucky that you got that kill. I'll be just upfront with you about it. Because typically what happens against better players, if you're waiting for that kill, they will not give you that kill. They are just going to sit there and wait for this guy to poke out or this guy to push you. Either of these two to push you, and then they would challenge and just outright just steamroll you. So, you don't really want to wait for that, like, pink addict kill that long. Like, maybe you can wait and then, like, try to get back into your base, because, like, you just got to stay alive and be prepared for, you know, P2 and P1 push, or even this guy, like, top mid, ready to push your window. Because that trade is, like, okay, but it's still not that great of a trade. You're trading at your own base when they're still collapsing on your base. That's not ideal. I don't think that's too bad. You just happen to lose the gunfight. I don't know what this guy's doing. I don't know why he's blocking bubble. Spawn from blue. Yeah, you gotta go somewhere. Just get into your base. Okay, this is fine. Could have been worth to maybe check if Camo was up, but I don't think it was. So maybe you knew that. I'm not sure. But that's just always a habit that, if you're aware of the time at least, like, peeking over is always worth it. Or your teammate has Camo. That's good. P2, easy double. Shots on the pink door, back the guy down. Yeah, now is the time to push. You don't really need to, like, you know, dilly-dally P2 after you get that damage down, and, like, it's a lot of damage that you're over this guy in the fight. So you're, like, almost one shot, but you see your teammate also above you dropping in. You see a teammate down here as well. Like, as soon as this guy is, like, here with you, you see that this guy is one shot, you should have already been, like, moving and, like, you don't have to sprint necessarily, but after your shields start coming back, like, probably sprinting into the P-attic to get here quick. Cut off these angles and kill this guy faster. That's, like, the plan. Just a little slow right now, a little slow. Like, when you know, when there are some certainties, such as you're not as weak as the other guy you're shooting, that's when you want to try to push that advantage and push it quick. Especially when you have teammates around you, then, like, you can be a bit more risky. So, if we get a flag pull, your teammate's got a pick. But I don't like that. Yeah, you knew he was going to be there. You knew he was going to be there. Toss the flag out, bait it, and, like, drop on the guy or take the fight. Like, that's all you have to do here. And this is what I do in this situation, is I'm going to toss it out, or you can just, like, take the gunfight while dropping down. But, oh, he's actually behind you, so that's even more unfortunate. But typically in this play, when somebody's lingering, you want to toss out the flag and then, like, clear everything out. You could easily have gone low, cleared it out, and then turned back around, and then this guy might have been he would have been the one dropping on you. So it's kind of crazy. Your teammate's literally dropping the ball here. But you really can't have this moment. Like, you can't be slow about it. Like, toss the flag out. It's not going to get returned or anything. It's fine. You just need to toss it out and, like, try to slay or try to get info. Oh, I actually just realized I still had music playing. I'd rather keep that probably off for this. Come on, bubble. Definitely, I think it's worth going back to flag here. You don't want to wait like this. This is not what you want to be doing. Yeah, you either need to go car, or like you need to go back to your base. Whenever there's only one person in your base, it's kind of nice that, you know, you're not being collapsed on. But if that one person was the only line of defense and you're just kind of sitting car cuts, you would have been way far off, like on the back foot. So you either need to go back sooner, or you just need to push out car 2 and just actively take the fight with this guy rather than just like sitting here watching him. You sitting here watching him is not going to do anything. So you got to keep that in mind. It's a little bit slow right now. That's just the one thing I've noticed. Is that there's just some inefficiencies with like your movement and like when you could be faster and when you could be just a little more cautious. That's just unfortunate. Got shot in the bag. It's nice that he's there to take the fight. You don't end up dying. Yeah. It's hard for me to really break this down because you're just doing... You're not really going anywhere, and you're, like, doing a lot. And it makes it just, like, all over the place. Like, you're swiveling, you're moving your point of view and flipping your head to so many different things. It's like you back this guy down, and like you end up recommitting, but as soon as like this happens right here, you should just be trying to go back. Like, watch your teammate run the flag, make sure everything's okay. Even if you, like, honestly, if this is me, I probably would have already turned back to like our side of the map. For some reason, this guy didn't pull the flag yet. Maybe it's a big brain play because like you don't know he's there, but nobody's at the base, and you're like the furthest guy back. You see, so I would say it's pretty much your job to like turn around and like clear out the base and make sure everything's good. And you don't really want to be waiting bottom mid. There's no reason for you to be bottom mid right now. No really good reason to. Pluto with the 15 months. Welcome back, homie. I appreciate the resub. Drop some love for you in the chat. Your teammate still gets the cap, though, so that guy on red team was really just dropping the ball. No, you need to go in the base. Yeah. You needed to go a lot sooner. You're still alive, at least. That's great. But just think about it this way, like, you know, this doesn't always happen where it's like, oh shit, I did not mean to go that far back. This does not always happen where you end up having people just right in front of you, because what happens a lot of times, which is probably why a lot of people are scared to move into the base, you know, they're moving through, they're checking their front window or something, and then they just lift up, or they're walking in through, or jumping up through clamber. But you gotta do it. You gotta just go in. Because you're the first one. Like, you are probably the first one in, you might be the first one out. Like, you might die. But realistically, one of your teammates should have just came back. Like, this is not ideal, I would say. But in this certain situation, when things are clear, like, you need to take this chance so that you can already be in here and maybe looking down on these people and keeping them out of your base ahead of time. So, waiting on the door, I don't normally like the practice of it. I don't. Like I said, you get through, and that's like kind of fortunate that you weren't getting cleaned up, and like the two guys go down. It could have just been more efficient, is like what it comes down to. Yeah, play for that camo. Got it. Hopefully you kept track of the time. Don't need to do too much here. Maybe back smack the guy. Ooh. Okay. I'll let this play out, and then we'll I'll like give my critiques in a second. definitely not your flag run. I hope you do realize that. Teammates are kind of fumbling a little bit. You don't even touch it right now. You're getting very lucky right now. That's one thing I think I'll say. A lot of fortunate things are happening to the fact that you're not just getting melted. Okay, then you die. Not the greatest way to die either. Let's just start from the beginning. So you get Camo. I did like this play. I think this was fine. You're kind of like slow playing it. One thing to be wary of is there always could have been like another person bottom red or top red waiting for you. But I think this is like a, I think this is a good like calculated risk type of play where it's like you get a free pick and you get a touch again, and then you have like teammates here to possibly help you around the touch. So this is fine. However, when there's a guy like this, and if this is a higher level of play, I'm probably like one to die here from like a guy P3. He's going to make sure that I die because he sees that I have Camo. If I'm you, I touch that flag, I throw it, and like I try to thrust back into red or something to get away quickly. Because these guys, like this guy Bubble, he's throwing. This guy P3, they're kind of throwing, like they're not focusing the more important person like yourself. They're really out of it right now. Surprisingly, I think this guy ends up trying to shoot you. He doesn't even shoot you. Yeah, like this is just all very fortunate, I'd say, for like what's happening. And then this guy like shooting behind you, you see him, but then you don't. Like this isn't your flag to even run. So like in these circumstances, if you go for the flag touch again, it is very, very unlikely for you to actually get this flag touch, get top mid like you do, and toss it out and not get shot. Like these guys literally have control of car, and they have control of your base, and there's a guy P3. You are very lucky right now that these guys are like out of it. That is what I'm trying to get the point across, because this play, like while nothing happened as it happened, this is probably one of like the 1 in like 10 chances like this works out the way it does. I think so. That's just what I'll get out of the way to say. That's what I wanted to make my piece earlier on about that. Like when you have Camo and your entire team is dying, it's not really your job to keep getting a flag run. Like if you can get a touch and like extend it and then bait it, like that's what your job should be. If you can, even then, like that's not a guarantee. Like most of the time, you just need to make sure you're playing your life with Camo, because you still had like half your Camo to work off of when you got the first touch. When they get that pull, even right now, I don't like this grab to toss up. Like, this is just excessive. Like, you can leave the flag there, and you could have just backsmacked this guy and then moved over to car. And then, like, your teammates, these guys, like this guy and whoever's going to spawn up next, are going to be the ones that go for the flag. Flag takes forever to return on its own if nobody's on it. As long as you kill people around it, that thing will just stay there forever. As long as you get, like, a touch every once in a while, you know? So your job as Camo is to live and do damage and just be a problem. It's very lucky that like you're being a problem in one of those ways where like nobody is on the same page and they're just like all dancing around you. So that's the whole spiel about that. You get the kill bottom blue, that's good. Going bottom mid there, you took a little while to get the shots. Did the guy car 1 just happen to kill you? Like, how'd you die so fast? That's what I was wondering. I thought you were getting shot from red, but this might just have to do with cutting off angles. If I'm you in this circumstance, I'm going to try to make sure that I'm chilling more so like here or even here to make sure I'm not getting shot from red. That's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, you were getting shot from car 1. They were just both shooting you, that's why, okay. Yeah, you want to make sure you're not, like, leaving yourself just out in the open consistently to be shot by 2 different people. Like, if you can, cut off the angle, or, I mean, you could even help forward at him before you start shooting, just so, like, you're more here than just out here. Another thing to just think about. Cutting off angles is very important in gunfights. So you're soaring pink. Ooh, yeah. That's an unfortunate melee. That's an unfortunate melee. Do you have nades? I just need to see real quick if you did. I'm not sure if you know that there's a guy like bottom red. Yeah, I don't think you did. You did like too late. I was gonna say like chuck a nade at the P tunnel, but you didn't know he was there until it was too late and you're in his face. But as soon as your teammate dies, like playing a little bit more passive is probably a little bit better than just holding forward right away in like a circumstance like this. Like your teammate dies right there. If that's me, I might honestly just kind of chill right here on this wall and like let this guy just walk forward. Like don't even imagine this fight happening. If you just wait right here, I doubt this guy, most of the time, people are not walking out so they can check like right here. They're just gonna like walk out P2, P1. Another option is to maybe have gone like front red, and you could have seen this guy car, and then just been under the base behind this guy. You have options whenever like your teammate dies there. It's just like more of a toss-up. You make things more RNG almost whenever you just instantly hop in where your teammate just died from. Got a touch, and you are leaving it, which is fine. But you're not leaving it fully. Oh. Yeah, I don't like that. And it's not necessarily from you. How you and your teammate both played that is just kind of like, eh. Like, if you weren't going to leave, like, I don't know, maybe you thought you were going to leave, and you're like, you know, I'm not going to leave. But then you didn't move. I would have preferred that you grabbed the flag at least, and then still did the same thing. I wish your teammate would have done it, because he was, like, E-Money, he was just the one there. But even here, like, ideally, I don't think it's best to split yourself between this. Like, if you're going to push up, like, push up. If you're going to sit back, well, then sit back. Because it almost seems like you're staying further back because they might get the return. And if you think that is the case, like, you need to get your hands on that flag so that you can cap as soon as possible. But instead, you're kind of splitting yourself in between. You're like, oh, okay, I'm gone. Psych, I'm coming back. And then they get the return anyway. If you're going to stay there, stay there. If you're going to push up, push up. One of you guys really should have been holding the flag at the end of the day. That would have helped you and your team quite a bit. Dead. Oh, that is not a good nade to throw. Specifically because your teammate's literally right next to it. Oh, and you're standing right on the open. This is another thing about cutting off angles. Just gets you killed. Okay, so, like I said, right when it happened, throwing that nade, not ideal. If your teammate's already, like, right in front of your crosshair in the general direction of where you're chucking the nade, like, you didn't, if you threw that nade right away, like, you're walking up and you threw it deeper, but instead you waited, and then now you throw it while your teammate's right in the doorway, that's just what happens. That's just what happens. And then right here, there's no reason for you to be standing on this bridge out in the open. You can get shot from the window. You can be getting shot from, like, even bottom red. Car 2, you're going to get shot no matter what if somebody happens to go there. But you need to cut off these angles. And even if, like, don't even necessarily think about cutting off the angle from, like, these people. You need to cut off an angle from, like, this person if he happens to start shooting you right away. And by that, I mean, if that guy starts shooting you, you can easily just take a step. Like, you might get shot once, but then you can be behind the shield. If you're out here, like you are, like, look at where you're standing at. I don't know why you're also throwing a sticky nade right there. If you're going to throw a sticky nade, maybe chuck it right at the flag. That's just a suggestion. But, like, you need to be either face or top mid on the shield. Top mid on the shield, I think, is still better. But, like, you need to be near cover. Then, look at this. You're already one shot, nearly dead. And now you're going back. Literally absolute one bullet. And then a guy just soaring top mid can kill you one shot. Getting tilted. You're literally up 1-0. You can't get tilted. Can't be doing that. Why are you getting tilted in the first place? Just because they got a return? Yeah, you can't be getting frustrated just because of that. Especially when you're not doing as much as you can. That's one thing you gotta like realize. Like if you're dropping, you know, 30 kills and like getting 5 touches at a time and picking up every camo and power weapon, then that's one thing. But if you're still a part of like something that's happening and not doing your part all that fully, you can't feel that way. It's not necessarily justified. I don't. Okay, so this is just you getting caught off guard, which is gonna happen. However, in this gunfight, look at how much this guy has 3 shots up on you before you even fire back. And in this fight, I think it's okay to like take a few shots. And that thrust to the right is like what you want to not do. I was gonna say, if you want to use a thrust, which is what I would do, you need to use it defensively to literally cut the angle, not take like a wide jump left to still get shot to not make it to cover on the right side. You need to use it defensively, more towards car 1 here. This is just what gets you killed. You might still die from somebody like car 1 or bottom mid or something, but you got caught off guard. You're down shots. It's best to just get out of that fight. Yo, Reptar, what's up? And then you spawn car. Okay, but this is a situation you don't need to drop. So in the fight that you were just down like 2 or 3 shots, you're still like fighting to the death. And then the one where he's 1 shot and you're in control of the fight, you drop down. And then you go back up. Maybe you just misstepped on like your movement. I'm not sure, but that is definitely not what you want to do. That's the complete opposite. That is the complete opposite. Yeah, I mean, you stood still for a second, even on the top of the slide, and then you dropped down. I don't know why you would do that. This is definitely one of those times where it's like, you need 1 headshot, and he still needs 2 at the minimum. You can start chucking nades and just holding forward at him, and he's gonna have to poke out. He at least gets cleaned up by your teammate. That's just kind of fortunate that he's able to do that, from Pink Door over there with the circumstances that he has, but. Okay, this is a car run. This is not bad. Block and bubble. Good block. Okay, once this guy has the flag through, and I don't think you're keeping track of your scoreboard to like see what's happening. Like, you don't really need to stay bubble this entire time. Like, look at where your flag guy is, and look at where you guys are at, and then look at like what's even happening over there in your own base. Like, you guys should be backing up now, or you should be like aggressive in a flank type position so you can shoot these types of guys that are going to overextend or are coming off respawn. Like, you just sitting in bubble, looking left and right, left and right, left and right, like that's not getting anything done. You need to actually be accomplishing something, whether that's accompanying your teammate so you actually cap the flag, or you're still going to be aggressive on this side of the map and keep anybody else from having any shot from getting to that flag. But like this guy, not important at all. This guy back red, not important at all. This guy, kind of important. These guys, extremely important in blue base. See, this is what you should have been doing like 10 seconds earlier, if not going back to your base. Like I said, either or, somebody needs to go back with a flag guy. That's just one thing that needed to happen. But, you still have choices. Wait, why aren't you just shooting that guy P Street? You're just going top mid. Don't need to throw that sticky. Okay, it seems to be like it's still working out, kinda. Okay, it was sloppy, but it still managed to like get the job done. Like, if I was you, I would have been making sure that I'm holding forward at this guy on the pink street and closing out the kill. If I was you. Instead, you kind of took your time to like, you looked at him and then like you looked away to look at the flag. But I don't know, maybe you don't really know what's going on in the flag, but hard to say. It's hard to say. That's a tough situation to necessarily be in. And then it's kind of fortunate that this guy just like wasn't paying attention to you at all. Sloppy, but it works out. Spawn bubble. So you guys are also up 2-1. One thing to notice. You know his car. Didn't check lift, and you just heard lift, but I don't think you actually heard it. He just thrust it right behind you. It feels like you're not reacting to the audio. I don't know if you're playing with a headset or what, but that stuff is very apparent to me, at least. You hear the guy moving, stomping around everywhere, Cart 2. Okay, this is a good route. Guys, P1. I don't like the way you're approaching that fight. Not really. Like, once you get those shots on that guy, if he's one shot in this scenario, and this is me, I'm going to make sure I hold forward across so that I can hopefully get that kill and then be under, like, pink attic. You don't want to just be standing out here, like, out. Jesus, just get me. Oh my god. There we go. You don't want to be, like, out here taking this fight. Like, you want to either be moving at him or giving up on the fight to, like, take another angle. Or you just want to be, like, in some sort of safety. Like, it took you a while to get to where you're at now. Like, your decision-making is just a little slow, is what I would say. Your decision-making is a little slow. I mean, this guy had a dumb ego, Chow. But you just, like, didn't commit to the gunfight. And you didn't really, like, back out of the gunfight. That's, like, kind of what I'm saying. You're in between, which is why this, I feel like, resulted in this happening. This guy's just top mid, ready to clean you up. So, if this was me, I'm probably going to, like, take the Chow, like, right away across front red to clean that guy up, and then maybe survive going back into pink and be either in the pink attic or down low. That's most likely what I would try to do in that scenario. You just took a little too long to make either one of the choices, which is what's happened a few times now, just to make note of it. Dude, this is an overtime game too. Okay. This seems to be just kind of unfortunate. Again, I don't really like how passive you are. Like, your teammate's already in the base, like, you need to move into the base with your teammate. Yeah, that's just unfortunate. The only thing I can really say about this is moving in right away. Like, your teammate's here in the P attic, like, literally just walk into the base. Just go. You should not be hiding on this doorway, you know? That's just not your role to play. And then, you end up going card. That's just unfortunate. They're already nading it out. That just kind of sucks. Spawn basement. I was supposed to say your teammates are dying pink over there, my man. Okay, I need to, like, rewind this real quick. Dude, there's probably a camo coming up too. I think there is. He's waiting for it. Okay, so one thing to keep in mind is, like, you gotta be more aware of what's happening and like what your teammates are trying to accomplish. You gotta know that camo is up in this minute, and your teammates are already over here. You should be playing on this side of the map right away. You should have already been shooting the P3 guy or this guy on your pink street way ahead of time. Like, instantly, like, it's okay to see that guy, but, like, he's top mid. You shouldn't even be thinking about him. You should be walking pink, backing this guy down, and then your teammate should be pretty much free to do what he wants. Like, this guy probably doesn't even die here, and then you can take the fight with the guy P3, and then it should effectively be a 4v2. Or a 3v2 at least right now. But instead, you're focusing this guy top mid that you're very likely not going to kill, and then your teammates are just... they're just not going to really do much here. Live up, which is, it's still a good thing. Reticle is a little off there. Yeah, stay in the P attic. Trade sticks with each other. It's still, like, a lot of what I'm seeing, I can't say it's like, this is just bad. It's more so, like, the decision making is actually there. It just needs to happen sooner. Whether it's going to be more passive, more aggressive, whatever it is, like, you just need to make decisions and, like, try to make them rather than waiting and, you know, flip-flopping between a lot. It's okay to flip-flop sometimes, like you're going to, but it's how often you're doing it. You're very indecisive with a lot of things that are happening. Or there's just a general lack of awareness that you have another option sometimes. I don't know why you just walked out like that. So that is one of those times where it's like, I don't know why you're this aggressive. That guy dies, and you miss the melee, but you know he dies, and then you just walk out anyway. You look down, see he's dead, and then you walk out. This is not a time to just walk out. Look at where this team is, and look at where your team is. This is not a walkout blue window type of play. That's just not what you can go with. That's one of those options that just not, like, maybe it could work out in some world, some way, but most of the time, that's going to get you killed. Again, you're still kind of just waiting in the doorway. You need to just go in, especially when you have a teammate in already. You need to be pushing into back flag. You need to be pushing through. Usually, if nobody has, like, bottom base control, like your teammate was right here top base, you should be trying to push, like, in the back of base and then maybe dropping down low to make sure everything's fine. That's going to typically be your job as, like, either the first or second guy can do that. Running the flag. That's okay. I think you taking that challenge while weak is fine. The fact that that guy turned away from his teammate running the flag to look back flag is interesting. I don't think you need to stabilize here. Does he know you're here because you stabilized? No, he's just watching back flag. Yeah. I think that's a fine death. Like, you could have gotten a lot of damage if that guy wasn't ready for that. But your teammate spawned car. Spawn the base. Back to it, that's good. Hop on return. That's not too bad. You get your shields back. Only thing I can say is, like, look at where your reticle is placed at right now. One thing I always look at now is if the lights are on pink, because if those are on, that means there's gonna be somebody. There's nobody P1, that means somebody's P2, or somebody's gonna be P3. Most likely P2. But look at where your reticle is placed. It's just looking straight out. You're too zoned out rather than focusing on what's right in front of you. Gets you caught off guard. You're down 3 shots before you even hit 1. So, just something to keep in mind whenever you're trying to push something out. Like, be prepared. Be prepared. Go back to pink. Was a guy P2. Again, you're weak and you're just walking out in the open. I don't really like that all that much. Rather than, like, playing for peak shots the entire time, you're getting weak and then you're still challenging out right away. Very risky, very risky. You don't need to back out entirely. Okay, do come back. Good shot. Is there anybody else P2? I thought there was. Maybe there was not, yeah. Guess that guy got cleaned up. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind these shots. It's just how long you spent. Like, that was literally like 15 seconds of just trying to shoot across the map. Now, let's just time that real quick. Which, 15 seconds is a long time. That is a long time. Maybe it's more like 10 seconds. 25. Yeah. That was almost 10 seconds of you, like, cross-mapping while, like, you're the furthest one pushed up. I don't mind you trying to cross-map, but if you're not going to hit the shots as consistently, like, you're not hitting the shots right now. Like, you're hitting some, which is fine, but if you're not having, like, any support, like, your teammates aren't pushing on those guys and they're not hitting their own shots. There's no cleanup kills happening, like, you know, quickly. Like, you need to try to maybe get a shot or two and then move up before you get one shot, because the fact that there isn't a guy already pushing out, like, maybe P2 or top mid to, like, try to clean you up is kind of surprising. I mean, I guess it's not too surprising, but that's what will happen a lot of times, is If you're weak P2 and at a higher level play, if they know you're weak P2, that is going to be naded out. It's going to be pushed out. It's just going to happen. Yo, what's up, Travis? Super late? Yeah, we're pretty deep into this. And you're actually coming back. Okay. My only worry this entire time was how little you were even thinking about there maybe being somebody pushing out your street. So it still stems like this entire time while you're fighting people on this side of the map, like blue car, you were standing out in the open to be maybe shot from like P2. You're already still going to be shot from somebody like bottom mid or top mid. You might as well just like cut the angle off, sitting like right here or maybe going P3 so that you can still get like a better vantage point. That's the only thing I'm going to say really. All that is still not too bad. It's just it's kind of fortunate that nobody was there to just like, you know, backsmack you or get a nade shot. Don't really need to nerd walk this entire time. Don't think you need to do that. Not really. Okay, you're going for the spring jumps. Damn, you guys had 50 seconds left and you lose this game, huh? Go for the pull. Again, toss it, don't run it. Yeah. When there are like, there's nobody really dying, or they died and then, like, there's plenty of time in between. Like, let's see what the kill feed's looking like. No one's dead. No one's dead. Your teammate actually dies. Kill gets traded out. Teammate gets another pick. There's been so much downtime, though, that, like, these guys could be anywhere. And since your team is focused car side, it is not ideal at all for you to toss out this flag and then try to run it, because then what happens here, this is what I explained earlier about the flag toss out. A guy spawns here. Spawns right below you. And that's because your team was still putting a lot of pressure car side. It's just very, very common spawn. Your teammate doesn't go back to base either, so that's just kind of shitty. Okay, but you live, which is okay. This is fine. Did you try to shoot your teammate? But now they have your own flagpole. Ooh. Okay, that's 2 dead. Okay, I gotta be real. I don't know how you guys lose this game. 30 seconds. You're looking at car. Wait, did you not hop the re? Okay, 20 seconds. Dude, oh, Jack. I'm gonna lose my mind if these guys get a touch because you're not fighting for it. Oh, Jack. Oh, Jack. Oh, Jack, don't tell me you got... Oh, no, Jack. No. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm sorry to laugh, but holy fuck, that was literally worst case scenario. Holy shit. Oh no, Jack. Oh no. You literally just needed to help Pink. Like, when your teammate is running a flag and you guys just got picks, you should not be standing in the middle. You should be, like, standing right here. Or, like, right here facing inwards so that this does not happen. Your goal is not to kill a guy like this. Your goal is to kill a guy like this. Because as long as they're in front of you, it's fine. It's fine. But, man, that's bad. I gotta be real. That's really bad. Everything has been, you know, pretty okay. That was definitely the worst play of the game. And, I mean, it definitely costed. You had 10 seconds. You had 10 seconds and they got the touch. And then you got reversal 5. So that's just, yeah, that's that. And then you made it there, yeah. I'd be not happy too. I respect it, Jack. I respect it. Go back to the base. Dude, yeah. There's Thumb. Shoot you in the back. Oh, man. Okay, you pushed out B2, you're being aggressive now. I have a feeling we're about to watch you spiral, though. I gotta be real. We'll see what happens, because you're a lot more aggressive right now than I've seen so far this game. Oh, shit. I don't really like that there's a guy directly above you. So, again, I think you just gotta be more active sometimes when you're like on these flanks with like what you can take. You can go down low, go in a toilet, you can get up top like right away. Or if you're here already, you can just walk up, chuck a nade car door. That's what I usually do. But like, even walking up this, like I don't know why you're walking up this to just get into P-attic. Like just go P-attic, because then peeking in from this side also just gives you the view of what's going on right here when there's literally a guy right here. This is always a possibility that somebody's just could be window. So just go into P-attic right away, cut off the angle so you're not just seen by this guy like car door, and you could clean somebody like this up very easily. Because I'm pretty certain he chucked that nade. I mean, maybe he chucked it, you know, instinctively already anyway. But I feel like he really knew how to throw that nade as soon as he saw you. Because he saw just a glimpse. I just wanted to see this guy. Dude. Yeah, he just saw you and just threw, like, the perfect nade. If you had gotten there just a little bit sooner, that probably would have been a lot better of a play. Just something to keep in mind. So you ended up dying right away. Where are you, though? Come on, respawn. I think you spawn front blue. You go car. It's not terrible, but I need to rewind again. See where you spawn. Yeah, you spawn front blue. So one thing that I will say, this is just, like, this is one of those situations where you might just die anyway. However, you don't want to make it this easy for somebody like this to just come, like, kind of come out of nowhere. Like, you still need to be cutting angles or still committing to, like, what you're doing. Instead, you got your kill, car, and then you opt to try to go back when you don't really need to go back. Like, you can just stay car 1 and attempt to go car 1, or stay car 2, or at least back up to bubble and, like, hide, or go car 2 and hide. I just don't like how open you are sometimes when you're getting shot. Like, you're just kind of letting yourself just be out there, you know? When you don't really need to be out there. You might still die, playing your life a little bit harder. However, you'll find yourself living more often than not if you do that. I hope you commit to this. Okay, it's kind of lucky that your teammate came in to clean that kill up, but you got to drop in those kills. That's just something to do. You need to make sure that camo guy dies. Even if you die for that camo kill, like, die for the camo kill. Plain and simple. Server's still down? I'm not too sure. Okay. Yeah, why'd you go that way? No. Like, you saw the guy in front of you, right? I'm pretty certain you did. Like, that's why you kind of hesitated. Like, I'm pretty certain that's why you kind of took your time. Was because you saw the guy there. One thing I wanted to make note of is I have not seen you go toilet one single time this entire game. So that's just something to make note of. Maybe diversify a little bit rather than always going for this. Even if you see that guy, your team just killed 2 people. Like, you should be grabbing the flag, and you know where he is. You know where he probably will go. Pink tunnel or clamber. That's usually where people go. Maybe even window. But, like, you need to go, and then you need to get into the spot right away. Like, you need to beat the guy here so that you can win this fight right away. You're trying to avoid him. You don't want to avoid him. You need to literally win that fight. Like, you need to take that fight and win it. That is what you need to do. You're not trying to play sneaky now. You need to get the flag, get the pick, and then, like, run it. Like, this would be an easy pink run after, like, killing this guy. This guy was the 3rd kill in the kill feed, if you went for it. But instead, the guy where you knew where he was, you just, like, let him walk over. Like, walk all over you. So that is not what you want to be doing like, in that scenario. Maybe it's running flag, right? Yeah, you need to get back into your base. Okay. Don't need to be moving forward. Don't need to be moving forward. This isn't too bad, but I can just tell, yeah, it's very desperate. Like, look at how much time is on the... Look at how much time is still in the game. You have a minute. You have a minute, and your team is spawning behind this guy. Like, look at your teammate, this guy, and look at where everyone else is. You have support over there, and instead, you're still just walking out into the open for a flag return that, like, doesn't have to happen right away. So this kind of happened earlier in the game when you had Camo going for a flag touch, where, like, you're desperating for flag touches when, like, I don't think you have to. It doesn't really seem like it's about to return most of the time. Like, you don't even need to leave window here, or P-attic even. Like, that's not your kill to guarantee, and then even, this isn't even your return that you have to guarantee. You need to make sure that somebody's not going to just push up behind you from pink, or if somebody pushes up window, then you're going to have, like, an easy, like, shot on these guys. So, yeah, your teammate just gets absolutely melted. And now you're spawning basement. Oh my god. That sucks. Wait, was that guy just sitting bubble? Cash guy? Who spawns where? I just need to see. I have a feeling he... Okay, he was just a little late. Oh, and he backs up. Oh no, E-Money, you cannot back up here. This is one of those circumstances you just cannot back up. Why are you still in bubble? Okay, then you spawn bottom blue. You're hopping return right away. Okay. Yeah. Things are like kind of desperate right now, so it's just like going for that's okay. You still have time, so you just getting shot in the back, that's just kind of unfortunate, but your movement is just very slow, I feel like. Like, you don't even have to go for a spring jump. That's just kind of, like, nitpicky, but you don't even have to go for a spring jump for this. Or, like, if this is me, I'm probably sprinting to get into the window and, like, get in there quick. Like, you don't need to be walking this entire time. Like, there's literally 30 seconds left. You should probably be trying to move a little bit faster when you have picks on the board. Because I just always see you walking right now, a lot of these times. That guy just hits the spring jump and doesn't die. No, why are you paying attention to this guy? Yeah. That's just what happens. Split focus there. Dude, somebody quit right away after the game ended. Oh, man. Oh, man. Okay. Well, that was the match for Jack's Thumbs. So yeah, definitely the decisiveness is what needs to change. Like, you need to be more on point with it. You need to be a lot more just snappy with the decisions. You just need to go for it sometimes. Whether it's being more passive or being more aggressive. When you're being aggressive, you also need to understand that there are going to be times where you need to actually be sprinting. Sometimes you can be aggressive and, you know, you can just be walking up, which is fine sometimes.